now let's join Dr. Al Sears.
Hello, this is Dr. Al Sears. In this brief presentation today, I'm going to reveal a problem that is very common in my clinic. In fact, it's becoming so common I would call it an American epidemic. I'm talking about a loss of energy that drains your strength and vitality. It's a heaviness that leaves you feeling tired and sluggish and unable to get moving. I hear this from my patients all the time. It's one of their number one complaints. It's so prevalent. Sometimes the first thing I hear when they come in my clinic is, Dr. Sears, why am I so tired? They come to me as a doctor of last resort a lot because their family doctor, they can't figure out what's wrong. There's really no specific diagnosis and not a disease when you say you're tired. So your doctor will run a lot of tests and look for, known diagnosis. But in most cases for this problem about disappearing energy, there's no exact diagnosis that organized medicine has. So they will come up empty-handed and tell you it's a part of getting older. That's what happens to people as they age. But I'm going to show you why this is happening to you and what your doctor probably doesn't know about how to correct it. And most importantly, I'll show you exactly what you can do at home to restore the youthful energy and power you deserve. Let me start with one important biological fact. It has to do with what's really happening inside your cells, and this one thing is setting you up for something potentially far worse. You see, declining energy is a sign that your cells are aging faster than they should. But don't worry, I won't let this happen to you. Recently, I've been recommending a new energy protocol to patients at my private clinic in Palm Beach, Florida. This simple solution has helped even my worst case scenario patients. The changes I've seen have been truly remarkable. They regain vibrant, youthful energy in as little as a few weeks, even when most doctors consider them untreatable. These recent discoveries are giving new hope to men and women who feel that worn out, oppressive feeling as they age. And what you're going to find out does not require a prescription or even a doctor's visit, and it's completely non-addictive with no major side effects. So keep watching this important video because in the next few minutes I'm going to share exactly what this natural protocol is. I'll show you the science behind it, including published studies that back it up, and how you can get started using it yourself right now. Plus, you'll discover the awful truth about the little-known threats that come from your environment and destroys your energy production. They can ruin your plans for the future and even put you at risk for conditions that are far worse. I wish I was exaggerating, but I see this a lot with my own eyes and my patients arriving in my clinic. They feel lost and desperate. But you can avoid this. Soon you'll discover how to kickstart your body's built-in ability to generate loads of energy and new energy you thought was lost forever. And you'll experience the noticeable and long-lasting energy boost that so many of my patients have been talking about. For some, results come in a matter of days. For instance, Lewis F. was one of my patients from Carrum Downs, Australia, and he said,
I will be 84 in October. I play golf 3 times a week and I walk the course unassisted. My wife has dementia and I am her primary caregiver, so I cook, shop, clean, and do the laundry. The situation is stressful to say the least, and the fact that I'm managing everything is a credit to this remarkable energy protocol.
Or Maria K. from Seoul, South Korea, who sent me an email saying,
It is such a great energy enhancer. I'm a little over 80 years old now. I now feel energetic from early morning up to 10:30 p.m., walking and exercising, reading over 4 hours a day at least. I feel very good now.
But before I show you this new simple solution, I want you to know the surprising cause of your vanishing energy. Think about it. You may have wondered why as a kid you could race around all day and still have so much energy left at the end of the day. By now you probably know the secret lies in these tiny powerhouses inside your cells called mitochondria. These are the cellular factories that churn out energy that powers everything your body has to do, including your brain, your heart, your muscles. When you're young, they're like high-octane engines firing on all cylinders. But as you get older, things get a little weird as your mitochondria break down. I call it mitochondrial decay. It's been pretty much known for a long time. We didn't quite know what to do about it, but we knew that it was connected to the aging process. Like this Harvard Medical School report that says, quote, "We all get more fatigued as we get older. It's part of the aging process. We lose mitochondria," end quote. And the few mitochondria that are still around also get damaged and they don't produce energy like they used to. That's why you have this rundown feeling by noon instead of feeling you can keep getting out there and conquer the world like when you are young. The medical community is still not focused on this problem, and they don't have drugs they can prescribe for it. And they're not really seeing the big picture. Let me take a minute to explain a little bit about what these energy organelles we call mitochondria really are. We have good reason to believe, and I think this is fascinating, that mitochondria are separate organisms that evolved inside your body, and that mitochondria probably existed as primitive bacteria billions of years ago. They are essentially the same as the bacteria that are in your gut that you've heard a lot about recently that we call your microbiome. And that it was probably these same kinds of bacteria that were incorporated in your gut microbiome that then evolved to become the mitochondria in our cells. But that makes them different than all the rest of your body that has a certain kind of DNA. But mitochondria have their own DNA that we call mitochondrial DNA. And that is important because that means that they're not regulated by the same way that all the other DNA kind of calls out your body's functions. Each cell has a nucleus with DNA in it that's being read that kind of interacts with hormones and signaling to tell that what it's supposed to be doing at that time. The mitochondria having their own DNA, the mitochondrial DNA, are not a part of that same process. But that's also where the problem is, because every time the mitochondria make energy, they also generate waste. Some of this waste is in the form of free radicals called reactive oxygen species, or something we call ROS for short. Think of ROS kind of like the exhaust from your engine. But these free radicals are a waste product that comes from the actual making of energy. Unless you have antioxidants to neutralize them, this ROS can damage the mitochondria's own DNA. And it also damages other cellular tissues. Lipids and proteins can also be affected by ROS. This constant assault on your mitochondria helps explain how they get damaged over time. And damaged mitochondria produce less energy. As the damage accumulates, energy production declines and you feel more and more tired. When you are younger, you have a robust supply of antioxidants that protect your mitochondria from the damage of these free radicals and ROS byproducts of the energy production. But as you get older, your antioxidants also decline. Plus, you come into contact with thousands of chemicals and toxins in our modern world that leave your antioxidants unable to clean up this mess created by high energy output of the mitochondria themselves. I'm talking about things like chemicals in our food, toxins in our water, pollutants in our air. It's a never-ending assault on these tiny biological powerhouses. And many things that organized medicine does, they not only neglect that as a problem, but they sometimes make it worse. Like, for instance, if you're taking one of the cholesterol-lowering drugs known as statins, like Lipitor, your mitochondria decay even faster. It pains me to think of how hardworking Americans who've paid their dues over the years yet don't have the stamina to take their grandkids to the park anymore. And now it's like a punch in the gut. They have the money, they have the resources, they have spare time, but they just don't have the energy. But now I'm glad to say we can finally change that, because thanks to this new breakthrough I'm about to tell you about, thousands of worn-out men and women feel the benefit of all-day energy. So instead of struggling to go for a walk with your grandkids, you can spring out of bed every morning with renewed optimism. This powerful energy protocol works even if you're 50, 65, or even 80 years or older, or if you can't bear the thought of another exercise plan or a bland diet. because at the heart of this energy epidemic is a very important nutrient. The problem is that we struggle to get enough of it in our diet, and mainstream doctors don't usually measure it. They don't know very much about it, and without providing the information, most times they miss the diagnosis that it is this energy nutrient that is causing their fatigue that they're complaining about. You've probably heard of this nutrient. It's become very popular to take it as a supplement. I'm talking about coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10. You may even be taking it. It's by far the most powerful energy nutrient that I've used in my practice. Now, there's a lot of details to know about CoQ10, but I just want to run over the basics that you need to know. I've been using it since the early 90s. I was among the first to find a place that could measure coenzyme Q10 in my patient's blood when no one else was doing it. I found a lab in California because none of the big labs could measure CoQ10 back then. We began testing it in our population. And one of the things I noticed right off is that as I measured people, 81% of those first patients that I measured had low levels of CoQ10 in their blood. That problem has gotten worse. There's been a steady decline of CoQ10 levels over the last 30 years. That's terrible news because CoQ10 provides the spark that fires up your cell's mitochondria that we've been talking about. The one true energy producing source in your body is the mitochondria, and they burn CoQ10 for high energy output. When you improve your CoQ10 level in your blood, it can breathe new life into aging mitochondria. Your heart and your brain need the most CoQ10. That's where CoQ10 was originally discovered. It was in the hearts of cows, where it's 200 times higher in heart tissue than it is in your skeletal muscles, because your heart and your brain burn the most energy, and that's why they have the most CoQ10. But remember, CoQ10 also provides critical antioxidant protection that we've been talking about. But we're still left with this problem. Eating a standard American diet means your CoQ10 shortage gets worse and worse, because it's increasingly difficult to get CoQ10 from the food we eat. Even taking CoQ10 supplements, like we'll cover in a minute, is somewhat limited in what it can do for you. Your mitochondria break down, and they fail to produce energy as you get older. In one study published in the New York Academy of Sciences, researchers found that 95% of the mitochondria in a 90-year-old man were damaged, compared to almost no damage in the mitochondria of a 5-year-old boy. Think about what this means for energy production. We've all seen the limitless kind of energy that children have, and we know that we experience an energy decline as we age. The feeling of energy that you have is related to the biological energy that you're producing. When your mitochondria are producing more energy as a biological fuel, you feel more energetic. And if you take CoQ10, it can repair and rejuvenate old mitochondria, and it gives them back their energy source. And remember, it's used by every organ and tissue in your body, and giving all of the tissues in your body a surge of energy also gives you a surge of mental clarity and confidence, and improves your mood and your willingness to take on new tasks and get out and do things. But as I was saying, taking CoQ10 alone is not enough to solve the total problem with energy production as we get older. Because as powerful as CoQ10 is, there's one critical thing that it cannot do. It can't help you create new mitochondria to replace the one you've lost. And you're losing mitochondria a little bit year by year. So giving back CoQ10 makes those mitochondria that are left produce more energy. Now, thanks to recent new discoveries, we have new ways of doing exactly that, replacing lost mitochondria. Today, we can deliver the full potential of CoQ10 by combining it with some new compounds that trigger the growth of new mitochondria. Their secret is this natural process called mitochondrial biogenesis. That fancy term is just describing your body's ability to replace dying mitochondria with brand new ones. You can stimulate the mitochondria that are old to divide in half and produce two brand new, pristine, youthful, undamaged mitochondria. Matter of fact, I've written about it before. If you go back and look at some of my older stuff, we talk about how important our PACE exercise program was. We have a patented exercise program that focuses on short bursts of progressively increasing intensity exertion. We had research that showed that intensity of exercise stimulated the production of new mitochondria, and it was the only way we knew how to do that. Now it's not. It's no longer the only way that we know how to produce new mitochondria. And that's been a real turning point. Because when I did a patient study, I discovered that people doing PACE while taking CoQ10 got far better results than people just taking CoQ10. Now I know why. The people doing PACE were building new mitochondria. And that's why this new discovery is so important, is it's going to allow you to get more energy out of the CoQ10 that you took, just like PACE. Now, I'm adding 3 nutrients that trigger this process we call mitochondrial biogenesis. Here's the amazing thing. When we took a closer look, we realized PACE was activating a gene called PGC1 alpha. I often refer to this now as your energy gene. It's the energy gene because it triggers a cascade of signaling that results in the production of new mitochondria. Now we have research to show that a newly discovered natural nutrient works in the same way that then turns on the production to make more mitochondria. I'm talking about something called PQQ. Its effect is really quite dramatic, especially when you take it with coenzyme Q10. There's a landmark study showing the effect of combining PQQ and CoQ10 on memory in particular that shows just how powerful this combination really is. Have a look at the graph. The bar on the left shows the people who took only a placebo and there was very little change. The bar on the right shows the people that took PQQ with CoQ10. The combination improved their short-term memory scores by almost 800% after just 8 weeks. This is quite an achievement. PQQ more than doubled the benefits of CoQ10 alone. Now we know why. The addition of the PQQ activated mitochondrial biogenesis. This created new mitochondria throughout the whole body. And then when you have new mitochondria, the effect of taking CoQ10 is much greater because you have more energy-producing organelles to get the full benefit of the CoQ10. And now we know that PQQ does this by mimicking exercise and activating that energy gene that I told you about. That's how it creates new mitochondria. I'm not the only one to have noticed this. Discovering how my patients did PACE along with CoQ10 and they had more energy, I found other studies that confirmed this finding. A recent study published in the Journal of Biology and Chemistry took a group of non-endurance trained males and introduced them to the power of PQQ. After just 6 weeks endurance exercise training program, the results were eye-opening. While both the PQQ and placebo groups saw improvement in their aerobic performance, the men in the PQQ group had a significant edge. They all showed noticeable increases in the PGC1 alpha that triggers mitochondrial biogenesis, but the process that creates new mitochondria in your cells was much greater in the people who took the PQQ. This was the confirmation I was looking for. We now know that PQQ is one of 3 nutrients we discovered that activate this energy gene called PGC1 alpha. I'll tell you more about the other 2 in just a minute. First, I want you to know that simply taking 20 milligrams of PQQ can dramatically increase the expression of your energy gene, so your body grows fresh, new mitochondria. Who knew how extraordinary your body's rejuvenation capacity truly is, even in the elderly? The end result is a fresh, new supply of mitochondria in all your cells, supplying waves of clean energy so you feel like you're aging in reverse. Look at the image on your screen. You can see that the cell on the left has already lost many of its mitochondria. In the cell on the right, you can see new mitochondria appearing. This is what your cells look like after mitochondrial biogenesis. Fresh mitochondria are not restricted or diminished like old mitochondria. They pump out youthful energy and you can feel it. That's the effect of combining CoQ10 and PQQ. Many studies now, including my own, already show that CoQ10 teams up with PQQ and you can get life-changing results. So I developed a formula to include both of them working in concert. There's yet another set of ingredients that work with CoQ10 and PQQ to further thrust your energy production. That's what I'm talking about in my new formula I'm introducing here called Ultra Excel Q. Ultra Excel Q combines a unique blend of PQQ, coenzyme Q10, and 6 other powerful ingredients to support optimal mitochondrial health. It ramps up your energy production and it can make you feel decades younger. There's truly nothing else out there quite like this. The secret to Ultra Excel Q's potency doesn't lie with each ingredient, but it's in the unique combination and the precise doses that make it work. This is the same formula that I give to my patients and the same one I take myself. I'll be taking it every day for the rest of my life. Taking Ultra Excel Q couldn't be easier. All you have to do is take one soft gel in the morning to feel energy in all of your cells, all over your body, roar back to life. Just like thousands of men and women who tried Ultra Excel Q for themselves. Like David from West Yorkshire in England.
Ultra XLQ proves to be an essential part of my daily routine because it works so well in removing the concerns I've experienced while getting older. I now expect to have healthy senior years and enjoy life once again.
Or Ray from Montreal, Canada.
Thank you very much for wonderful, effective formulas like Ultra XLQ. I love it because at my age and my condition, I need the energy to keep doing what I was doing 30 to 40 years ago. This product gives me the strength and endurance to cut wood or do manual work.
Or Judy from Athens, Georgia.
I began taking Ultra Excel Q in late April. The feeling of being run down was constant, and most days I had to nap for an hour or two to get through dinner preparations. Going to church left me so tired, I had to choose between church and vestry meetings afterward. I could not do both. By June, I noted in my journal a definite improvement since I'd been taking Ultra Excel Q since Easter. I can now go to water aerobics in the morning without needing to sleep in the afternoon. I'm able to work in my garden and care for my disabled sister with help in cleaning and heavier work. I plan to continue taking it daily, and I routinely attend church service and still have energy left to spare for the rest of my day.
Since the introduction of my first Ultra Excel formula, more than 1 million doses have been sold and shipped around the world. This is a powerful testimony to its ability to transform the lives of people just like you. Today, I'm inviting you to reclaim the booming energy and physical stamina of your prime. But first, let me show you what else is in this new updated formula. You already know about the CoQ10 and the PQQ and how this is so powerful. And researchers said that these two nutrients taken together has, quote, the potential to prevent or even reverse the decline in cognitive function caused by the aging process, end quote. In Ultra Excel Q, you get the full 20 milligram dose of PQQ used in the study and all the other prominent PQQ studies on file at the National Institutes of Health, or the NIH. This is important because 20 milligrams has been established as the most effective dose, especially when combined with coenzyme Q10. Remember I told you that I discovered other nutrients that also activate your energy gene? Let me take a minute to tell you about one of those. You may be familiar with this one for other reasons. It's called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a naturally found substance that's kind of a super-powered vitamin. It's what gives salmon and flamingos their pinkish color and gives salmon that incredible strength to swim upstream. The astaxanthin in Ultra Excel Q is harvested naturally from a potent particular form of blue-green algae grown in Hawaii. It's part of a family of nutrients called carotenoids, which are known for their bright colors and many health benefits. The cool thing about astaxanthin is that we know it's a very, very strong antioxidant. That means it helps to protect your body cells from the damage done by producing energy in the mitochondria. It's especially good at helping these tiny powerhouses in your cells continue to stay vital to produce more energy. Astaxanthin is a natural addition to this dynamic duo of PQQ and CoQ10. Here's why. Astaxanthin is like a superhero that fights off villains called free radicals and reactive oxygen species. As I mentioned, these bad guys are a byproduct of creating energy. By neutralizing these harmful molecules, astaxanthin protects the mitochondrial components like its proteins and fats and genetic material inside. Astaxanthin also helps stabilize the membranes of the mitochondria. This is important because all the energy production happens inside these delicate structures of the membranes, and astaxanthin helps keep the membrane strong and flexible. And remember we said your mitochondria have their own set of genetic instructions inside their own DNA? Well, astaxanthin also helps to preserve your mitochondrial DNA. It acts like a bodyguard for this DNA, protecting it from damage caused by those free radicals we mentioned earlier. This helps prevent mutations in the mitochondria's genetic blueprint. This is a new discovery about astaxanthin, that it enhances mitochondrial biogenesis. And that is the process we talked about where you make new mitochondria. Astaxanthin is one of the other nutrients besides PQQ that activates the energy gene I mentioned called PGC1 alpha. That makes it a critical component in our new Ultra XL-Q formula, and it results in even more increased mitochondrial mass and improved mitochondrial function. Before I go, I want to tell you about one more energy multiplier that's a recent surprise. We thought we knew all about this herbal superstar. You might recognize the name. Its biological name is Gynostemma pentaphyllum. But it also activates both mitochondrial biogenesis and protects the mitochondrial membrane. We now know that this superstar of herbal medicine also activates that PGC1 alpha gene, and it does it specifically in muscle cells that we've documented, which gives your muscles more energy and is a key regulator of that process of mitochondrial biogenesis. Now we know that this mitochondrial enhancing effect can also improve brain and memory. Now we know how it's doing it. It's doing it by giving your brain new ability to produce new mitochondria in your cells. I want to shift gears and tell you a little bit more about how energy is created. It happens in 4 stages in what we call the electron transport chain. That's important for us here because CoQ10 and PQQ is very active in the stages 1, 2, and 3, but not in the last stage of energy production we call stage 4. But there is a mineral that you all have heard about that is underrated as an energy protecting mineral in your body. I'm talking about copper. It plays a crucial role in supporting the stage 4 energy production, which is the last step before new cellular energy is released. Copper is a cofactor, just like coenzyme Q10, and both are critical components of the energy production process. When copper levels are optimal, your mitochondria function at their best. This energy superstar mineral is overlooked, but we have included it in the Ultra XL formula. In many ways, it's just as important as CoQ10 because you need CoQ10 and PQQ and the other energy multipliers we talked about to get through stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. But unless you have enough copper, you're dropping off energy production before it goes out the door in that stage 4. There are also roles for vitamin E and its relatives, the 4 tocotrienols. I don't need to go into that detail here, but they're included in the formula in optimal levels because they're also necessary for energy. I think that with all of these ingredients, Ultra Excel Q is the most powerful, most effective energy supporting formula available anywhere today. And to celebrate the launch of our new and updated formula, I'd like to give you a free bottle of Ultra Excel Q. Carolyn is our product care specialist for Ultra Excel Q, and she'll tell you exactly how you can get a special complimentary bottle. Now I give you Carolyn.
Thank you, Dr. Sears. We're all excited about the new and improved formula, and I've already heard from many of our patients in the clinic who are taking Ultra Excel Q with fantastic results. After hearing thousands of others since the original coenzyme Q10 formula that launched in 2007, Dr. Sears continued to improve it with an upgrade he named Excel. The next version was Excel with tocotrienols, and later developed a new and improved Ultra Excel, and then Ultra Excel 2. Now, Dr. Sears' 6th generation Ultra Excel Q is here. It's your turn to reclaim decades of lost energy and wake up every morning feeling bright and energetic. More importantly, we want to make it easy for you. If you bought all the ingredients in Ultra Excel Q separately, it would cost you $118.89 just for a 1-month supply. But the important thing is, no one else has ever combined these 7 ingredients in the perfect, most effective doses, because no one else has the specific knowledge about how to regenerate mitochondria and produce maximal metabolic energy. But you won't pay that much, not even close. Today, your investment for 1 bottle of Ultra Excel Q is only $79.95 plus $8.95 shipping and handling. But I have a better idea. Today we'll send you a free bottle of Ultra Excel Q and free shipping when you order 2 bottles. That means you're getting a total of 3 bottles, which is a full 90-day supply with our biggest discount, and you won't pay a dime for shipping and handling. You see, Ultra Excel Q needs time to reverse mitochondrial decay and actually regrow your mitochondria. While it's very possible you'll feel results in as little as a few days, rebooting your mitochondria happens when you take it consistently. That's why people see the most life-changing results when they take Ultra Excel Q for at least 90 days. So when you order your 90-day supply using the link below, it works out to just $1.77 per day, much less than a coffee from Starbucks. We're so confident you'll love the noticeable boost of energy, the increased stamina, and a bright new outlook on your future. Dr. Sears is backing you with his no-hassle 90-day endless energy guarantee. That way, we take all the risk. So if you're not 100% satisfied for any reason, simply return your bottles within 90 days, even if they're empty, and we'll promptly refund every penny. No questions, no hassles, no strings attached. But I doubt that's going to happen. Ultra Excel Q is arguably the most advanced energizing formula on the planet and the most effective way to multiply your energy. With your free bottle and free shipping, you're getting your best shot at a fresh start. As you and I know, a fresh start in life is rare. A fresh start at age 50 is almost unheard of, but that is an exception. Ultra Excel Q is a legitimate reset for your energy-making machinery. It's your well-deserved opportunity to get a do-over without the heaviness and rundown feeling casting its ugly shadow over you. All you have to do is click the link below this video. That's it. The decision is completely yours. But you should make this decision knowing it's completely risk-free. There's no risk to try. If for any reason you change your mind about Ultra Excel Q, just let us know. You'll get your money back, no questions asked. But once you get a real taste of the power that's possible with this new formula, like Dr. Sears believes you will, it'll be a real game changer and maybe the best decision you've ever made for your health. Now it's up to you. Click the link below to get started, but we need to hear from you today. Ultra Excel Q is Dr. Sears' newest, most powerful version of the formula that's been a bestseller for over 15 years. There's a lot of interest, and that means it might sell out. It's happened many times in the past, and I expect it could again. So don't go another day without it. And remember to claim your free bottle and free shipping by clicking the link below this video. We'll be with you every step of the way. And thanks for listening.